Community-centered, community-supported. Alaska Public Media.
You guys want coffee? It's ready!
The city-owned Sullivan Arena
Coffee's ready if you guys would like it!
has been Anchorage's de facto homeless shelter of last resort
Thank you.
since 2020.
I'm feeling pretty chaotic right now, to say the least.
It was David Marsett's final morning here. He was one of 166 people who stayed the last night before the assembly policy took effect, cutting capacity. Marsett had a work shift beginning soon. He wasn't sure how to keep his stuff safe or where he'd be sleeping at the end of the day.
And I don't want to lose my job. I'm trying to keep it. So I'm doing the best I can to try to make this work. But, getting re-evicted is not helping matters.
When the COVID-19 pandemic slashed established shelters' capacity and triggered wide disruptions in the economy that fueled homelessness. The shelter inside the hockey stadium closed last summer as pandemic restrictions relaxed, but several efforts to establish new, low-barrier emergency shelter spaces were stymied by politics and neighborhood pushback. The Sullivan Arena reopened in the fall, and hundreds of people crowded in again to escape frigid temperatures and snowstorms.
What I think has been unfortunate is that it has become a symbol by default because we haven't had a longer-ranging plan.
The Anchorage Assembly hired Kathleen McLaughlin to help with the Sullivan Arena's final days as a shelter. She thinks converting it to a shelter made sense during the pandemic, but now
It's time for this place to close. It's absolutely time for this place to close.
she thinks its users need a permanent facility and that the wider community should get its hockey and events venue back. In the days leading up to the scale-down, McLaughlin and shelter workers set up what they called a war room in an office inside the Sullivan. A dozen or so big sheets of paper span the wall, each with headers for different types of client needs or potential aid, with the individuals' names and cot numbers listed below. They hope to connect people to whatever services they're eligible for, or get them some basic provisions for living outside. On Monday, May 1st, the Sullivan Arena's doors shut to all but its 90 most vulnerable users. These tables of donated clothes and odds and ends were among the last stops for clients leaving Sullivan. Marsett wishes he had a little more time to get back on his feet without having to scramble.
It seems to me that they're creating homelessness, not helping it. I feel that there should be something more there, so that people don't wind up on the street living in a tent.
By lunchtime, he had sorted out his work shift and found temporary storage for his stuff. But he still didn't know where he'd be sleeping at the end of the day. In Anchorage, I'm Jeremy Shea.